So we're here with Booka Shade after they've just rocked out in the Arches in Glasgow. Great set, guys. It was really good. Everyone sweating lots, which is always a sign of a good gig, I think, in Scotland with that as well. Just a quick introduction, just to kind of say who you guys are, what you guys stand for, and a wee bit about your music with that as well.
Hey, we're Booka Shade. I'm Walter.
I'm Arno. Booka Shade. We're coming from Berlin, and we just played here at the Arches in Glasgow. We're a bit deaf, so right after the show, still sweating, but it was a great show. We had good fun.
That's cool. That's cool. So just a wee bit of history about you guys. You guys been around, you know what I mean, since like the early 20s, early 02, 80s.
We're old guys.
You guys are old school. Hey, well, I like that.
I think we met in '84 in school.
Oh,
and
right.
started to do some kind of a rock pop band, and with guitars and beat drums. And at that time there was no techno.
Yeah.
And then in the middle of the 90s, where we were very influenced and infected by the virus of techno, and switched over to electronic music. And so released a lot of music for all kinds of labels and underground labels.
Yeah.
Then switched over to pop music, pop productions, did a lot of pop productions for Germany, in Germany for all different kinds of bands. And then came back to really the underground electronic music again in 2000, and said that it would be good to have some kind of our own label. And so we came up with Get Physical. Installed the label in 2002 or so, I think, and started again to work with Booka Shade. And then since 2005 we're touring the world with this, with our music, which is great.
That's good. Well, 2 points from that straight off. You guys have been playing with each other since 1984. You must hate each other by now. This must be like a total
very
much.
much. Every day.
Yeah, every day, just hate each other. Yeah.
At the end of the day, we love each other. Just continue.
What's the secret in working together musically for that period of time? Like, do you know what I mean? Do you both have separate ideas and then compromise, or do you find that you guys are just on the same wavelength when it comes to music? Or
well, it seems to be like despite all discussions that you have naturally, you can't be together for 25 years or something and not have discussions. That it would be very unnatural. But still, at the end of the day, I think we look in the same direction and we want to achieve the same thing. And we always dreamt this dream of playing our music to as many people as possible. Yeah. And it took a while, like with all the producer and the songwriting stages that we had. But now we seem to, finally arrive where we wanted to be for a long time. And of course, there are discussions, but still, it's about this common thing. And I think it's all about respect for each other and respecting each other's role in the band. And one may progress a lot, and then the other one sees how it all can be handled and done, and it just clings together very well.
No, definitely. Obviously, 25 years, you guys have played all over the world. You guys have just done a US tour as well. Like, that shows that I've researched, but I've not really researched. The guys just told me 2 seconds ago, so there you go. But where's your favourite place to play? Like, where's the kind of place that means the most, and either means the most to you, or where you kind of feel the best feedback? Do you know what I mean, through that as well?
Difficult to tell. So we have all over the world some kind of the same, let's say, level of success. I would say Australia is our biggest market, so we crossed over in the mainstream, kind of. And we have a great audience there. We play big festivals, and also our own shows. They're sold out with a few thousand people, which is great. South America is always nice to be. UK is a very good market, so the tour so far is sold out, and it's like, I really can't tell, it's just like, it depends where you are. So the reactions are sometimes different. There are countries like America, Australia, people are completely out of their heads. And also UK, and there are others like in Asia where they clap their hands when the song is finished out of respect, but perhaps not as much as during you perform the music, but after the music they're really going nuts. But it's sometimes it differs, but I really can't tell. There's not for me it's not a favorite country or so. No. It's just like, it depends where we are.
I like that.
But you have to say, like, England and Scotland were the first ones to really accept us. I remember very well when we played Tea in the Park for the first time. It actually was the first festival we ever played.
Let's go. Yeah, there you go.
Only a couple of minutes,
good,
sorry, then we'll just stop
good as the new
everybody-
bad then, boys. Yeah, definitely. That'll be after party. No, definitely.
No, I wanted to say, like, Tea in the Park was the first big festival we played, and we had this great response. And also the first real big show we did in London was very important for us. So we have a special connection.
That's okay. Right, 2 more questions before the after party arrives. You guys have been touring for 25 years, obviously. You must have an embarrassing story in that time. What's the most embarrassing or the most awful thing to have happened to you? It's not just for the story. We have a trophy, and we will forward you on the trophy at the end of the year.
Oh, right.
If you win this.
So it actually makes sense.
It makes sense. It makes sense. Exactly. It comes out to a really bad story. You could be like, but there's a trophy up for grabs at the end of it.
Well, we had a lot of embarrassing moments. So when we had our pop career in the early 90s, when we started, actually it was in the late 80s, we played shows in a supermarket in between women's clothing. So we had 5 girls watching for underwear, and we played a concert there, which was quite embarrassing.
Girls sound sexy. It was rather
No,
ladies.
but it was not. It was old.
It was old ladies.
So that old ladies. So that's why it was embarrassing. And of course, we had the first Booka Shade show we ever played was in Watergate in Berlin, and we had 4 computer crashes in one night. So we started to tell stories via the microphone, and jokes and whatever. And I was just rebooting the computer all the time. So there's so many embarrassing moments. But at the moment, I think we are pretty stable.
Yeah, other than that, there's nothing to tell about after parties and being bad. We're very good boys.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely. We'll check that. As,
saints.
We'll see who's outside the door as we leave. Do you know what I mean? Outside of that as well. Just it's Christmas time, so on top of that as well, what's the worst Christmas present you guys have ever had?
I can remember when I was 10, and I was always really excited about Christmas, and my uncle, he gave me this present, and it was a book about economics, and it's a book from 1905 or something. It's written in old German language, which you couldn't even read, and it has 780 sides, pages. So that was my Christmas present from my uncle, and I opened this book and said, what can I do? I'm 10, I'm not 50.
Yeah.
So this was, I think, the worst I could get. Yes.
Definitely. Yourself? You could add to it?
Well, for me, it's probably a bit tricky. The worst, probably more from the side of my parents.
Yeah.
The one they regretted to give me the most was actually a drum set when at the age of 12.
Yeah.
Because I keep telling, there was a time when I told my parents, hey, don't complain that I've become a musician because you gave me this drum set for Christmas. So, but now they're really happy that we're musicians.
Exactly. No worries. Well, thanks very much, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope you enjoy your time in Scotland, and best of luck for the tour and the new album as well. Cheers, guys.